What's up, superstars? Back with another video. We got Superstar Rob and we got Superstar KCollections. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. You?
Oh no.
You gotta get the
You're not
mirror.
even trying.
You gotta get. It's okay. It doesn't take much to knock me over. If you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button. Join the Superstar fam. Make sure you hit the bell button because you never know what we're gonna hit you with next. We got some things in the works. I'm not gonna reveal it, but hit the bell, and that way you're always sharp. We'll see who gets the first on today's video. You can also become a Superstar VIP. Get the cool symbol beside your name. Get our spreadsheets that can help you decide whether you want to go for the draws, whether you want to sweep the floor. Advertisements. We did an advertisement for Superstar Legend, Hall of Famer, VIP, Keep Calm, Stack On, trying to sell his comic book. So if you haven't seen yesterday's video, make sure you check it out. And again, we appreciate all our Superstar VIPs. Still haven't had a chance to do the slide. Sorry, guys, too busy. But thank you all for your support. We appreciate you. Just over 100 VIP members right now. So we thank you so much for all your support. As well, you can always find us on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Reach out to us anytime. We're DMing people all the time. Follow us, message us there. We love to have that interaction. Instagram, you could private message us. So we love to hear from you. Give us some feedback. And yeah, thank you all so much. So Superstar K, let us know a little bit about yourself. This is your YouTube channel. What's your channel about?
My channel is just about getting to know the Veve community. So I just bring on anybody that wants to come on my channel and talk about Veve and their journey so far. And, I just kind of get to know them on a personal level and also just talk about, how they feeling about Veve and when they started and, just get the whole conversation going on why we're all here.
When did you start? It looks like your first video was 2 months ago. Is that when you started Veve or when you just started YouTube?
That's just when I started YouTube. I started my Veve journey in November of 2021, right after all the golden moments dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been awesome so far. A lot of things have changed, obviously with like the huge dip and everything, going through the bull run. So it's always a learning experience,
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. We were the same. Joe and I, it was the golden moments that originally brought us in. And it's too bad because I never actually really had an opportunity to go for those golden moments drops. It would have been nice to get one of them on the drop. Joe did. He got it, I think, an R2D2 on the drop. So 60 gem, I think it was listed at. But that was a big moment that November, and we see it as well if you go back, I think there was all sorts of reports about app downloads. November was a massive month for Veve.
Oh,
so yeah. It was when a lot of us came in, and now you're right. It's been a wild ride. We have to ride this bear market as much as possible. Also, guys, she's on Twitter. Make sure you follow her on Twitter as well. YouTube channel, I think it says here you have 225 subs. Maybe we can get you to 300, right? Maybe after awesome. We'll see if you guys get her 300. So everybody watching, I know about each video we have enough views that I think we can get you to 300. So hopefully that happens. You mentioned before the video you got a bingo night. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I want to start doing Veve bingo, just having some fun with the Veve community and, just listening to some music, having some fun playing bingo. So I'm going to start doing that, I hope, at least once a month. And then if a lot of people are enjoying it, I'll maybe do it more. But yeah, I miss doing giveaways and stuff since we don't have transfers. So I just wanted to start doing bingo, maybe doing some giveaways of like physical comics and maybe some Veve apparel since we don't have the transfers yet, but we'll see when that happens if I can start doing that for the bingo too.
It sounds like a lot of fun. So for your bingo night, may the juju be with you because you're gonna need it. Bingos is just one of those games. I'll tell you a funny story. I actually won a bingo once at a bar. And the catch was if you win the bingo, you win $100. So I won it. I was silly enough to put my hand up because it was the first time I was at that bar. They said to get it, you had to eat crickets, baked crickets, and take your shirt off. And I did both. And it was, everybody left the bar after that. They just left. They were scared off. So lesson learned. Over to the daily news today. So we'll start off with our Twitter here. We got Joe in the middle of the Hurricane Ian. He had some footage from his hotel room. He's completely okay. I called him before our stream. He's currently at a mall walking around. He said all the stores are closed, but he's going for a walk. So yeah, it's pretty crazy what's happening over there. But Joe's good. So that's he's been on Twitter posting around. Another thing is Omi the Clown. I don't know if you have if you're on Ecomi Wiki here, but he was saying that he didn't get as much done today. Wiki is free for all, and he's starting to bring in candlesticks. And he has indicators as well that you can use. So Ecomi Wiki's taking it to a whole new level. I know there's some technical, Crypto Pro is one of them. He's a YouTuber. He loves technical analysis. This can help bring him to a whole new level with the candlesticks. Check it out if you haven't already. It's going to be a premium feature. So our good friend Omi the Clown making it happen for the Veve community. Right. This is Mintalox, our guest yesterday. Thank you so much for joining us. He did a battle scene. Kayla, did you put anything in for the battle scene? Did you put any for the raffle?
I did. It's on my Twitter.
Oh, is it? Is it on your Twitter? Is that the top? Is this it?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's watch it. Let's see. Oh, it's a long video. Oh, you put some time into this.
I did a lot of time into it.
Oh yeah, you definitely put some effort. Go ahead.
But I definitely seen like a lot of really good ones. So I think I took a lot of time. This is probably the longest time spent on an L, for sure. But
Yeah.
It's cool because I had fun making it, and it was really cool that Veve did this. I really liked that they we all got to share like our creativity. You never know like how creative the community is until they do stuff like this. So
yeah, the community has so many skills. The Vaultaholics, the stuff they come up with is incredible. There's just so many entries, right? Like it's almost like literally you're just throwing a dart because there's so many entries. How do you pick? They're all so amazing. I think you did a good job on this. Really good job.
Thank you.
You even got different scenes going on. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
This was pretty cool. He showed the what is it? The chimichanga. I can't remember exactly how it's pronounced, but
chimichanga
going into the into the cleaner there. So the car wash. So that's pretty cool. I like this. Veve, pretty interesting. You mentioned before the stream. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened with the Baseman 1-for-1?
So the Gary Baseman 1-for-1 sold for like $12K, something around there, $12K. And it kind of like blew me away because of just how much the other one-of-ones have sold compared to this one. Yeah.
So I look at this art and it is pretty out there. I think you got a pig holding up the Baseman and then whatever we're gonna call it, the Toby.
Yeah.
And then I think we got some nudity going on this.
We do. We definitely have nudity going on.
So it's definitely a different piece of art. I think I heard, and I'm not an art guy, so I'm definitely the wrong guy to ask about this, but I think reading through Twitter, YouTube comments, I hear a lot from other people. And I think Baseman, he's one of the artists he's pretty popular before Veve. Like we are Veve people. That's where we hear about him. But supposedly the artist was pretty popular before he even came on Veve. Maybe he has a following that really wants these pieces of art. So maybe it's the first Toby 1-for-1. Somebody really wanted it.
Yeah.
But
it just blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, the one-of-one markets is strange because there's only one of them. So if someone really, really wants it, you're the only person in the world that's going to have one of them. So how do you assess the value of that? Like, it's just like the comic book world one-of-ones. If there's a one-of-one comic book and someone really wants it, like, how do you even assign the price? They can offer you 30 grand. I think a lot of the comics go for 10, 20, 30, 40 grand in the real world. So the 1-for-1s. So I can see why these 1-for-1s are going over 10K, 5K. It's big money. I don't know if the next one will go as much just because it's not the first. But again, this is out of my league. So obviously
definitely. I totally agree with you. Like I was telling you before, I think that the Ghost Spider is still one of my favorite pieces of the one-of-ones, and it sold for like half of that. So that's why I guess I'm just like blown away. So I just feel like, but it's all taste, right? Like everybody has their own taste and like favorite thing of art. And I guess you're right if you already have more of a fan base. But the girl that did the Ghost Spider was pretty well known too. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing with art. Like we made a couple videos in the past about, I don't think the time for art has come yet. I think that when people can start meaningfully placing the art in their houses. Even in the, like right now, the showrooms, you can't really visit other people's showrooms, but
Yeah.
I think that when you actually have the glasses on and you can go into people's houses and they start decorating themselves, their house in a digital world, not just the physical world, art might have its time. I think right now it's really nothing more than a collector item. You don't really see that many AR pictures online with art. It's usually the collectibles, like the actual like characters. So I think it's like really, really early for art. But if that's your thing, that's your thing. So power to you.
For sure.
This was pretty interesting. That whole Ultraman. Remember that whole? I remember when I first joined VZ talking about November. It was all about Ultraman, like
Yeah.
Asia. You remember that, right?
I definitely remember that. And I even brought that up in one of my streams. I was like, whatever happened to like all the talk about Ultraman and like China coming in and like Ultraman just like going to the moon and
Yeah. I remember during that time period, we had a lot of YouTube comments like, oh, like David, you set up an office in China. And I think we all know what's coming. And there was a recent interview with Reese where he talked about localization and how difficult it is for Veve to be there at this point in time. The resourcing that it's going to take to do it is just exhausting. And he talked about approvals with the licensors. He's like, we have to go through different departments with the licensors to get approvals for some of these. I don't think we're anywhere close. And I don't think we have a big like Asia presence right now on this app.
yeah.
So I think the hype of Ultraman, although, you know, there's going to be a lot of people watching this video, I think it's a little bit overhyped. I don't think its time has come either, just like art.
Yeah.
But depending on the price, who knows? Maybe it's worth going for.
Yeah, I guess I'm wondering what isn't there going to be like 5 variants of that too?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. And we'll talk a little about variants later. There's no, I don't think there's a Medium article. It says 4 digital collectibles. There you go.
Oh, 4. Okay.
I don't think it's out, like the Medium article out yet. That'll be a later video, but
For sure.
we'll see. Oh, an Ultraman drop, still an Ultraman drop. We know the Veve community is big into it, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Veve Rumble, make sure you vote Superstar KCollections. And then this one here. So this was another big thing. The Medium article finally came out for the Star Wars vehicles. So we have Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, and we have the Scythe. I thought it was the Scythe at first, but it's the Scythe. So,
okay. I did not know how to pronounce that, so thank you.
Yeah, a YouTube comment said that. For all I know, it's not even right, but that's what I was told. So I pulled the Medium article up here. Now, I did a whole video on should you go for drops on Veve still. And there's a lot of reasons to not go for drops. And
right.
We'll just do some quick price predictions here. I used the comparable of the Romulan here, and it's currently trading at 70 gems. Okay. So if you look at the TIE Fighter, now this is Darth Vader. It's a listed price of 80, and there's 11,888 mids. If you compare that to the Romulan that's selling at 70 right now, I think the Romulan only has 5,880. It has half the mints pretty much. So that makes you wonder, right? If this is 70 and half, even though the TIE is more popular, there's probably a good chance I think it's going to go even less than 70. What do you think?
Yeah, that one's probably definitely going under 70 for sure.
Right? So we might be looking maybe at a 40, 50 gem resale price. It is Darth Vader, so it's a little bit more popular. But I'm thinking maybe the 50 range makes sense on this one. And then we have the ultra rare. It's a list 80, but this one's 2,808. I think this one, I know a lot of people are saying they're all going to get crushed, but Star Wars stuff tends to sell for a bit more. We saw the other vehicle was the Romulan was selling for 70. So this one has half the mints of that. I think this one might actually have a chance to go around listed at least. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think that one has like, you know, at least I feel like everybody's going to be going for the drop just because they're going to be trying to go for this one. And that's why the other one's going to just like tank so hard, is just because nobody wanted that one. They were going for this one. And then, and so then this one will probably, I'm sure it'll stay over retail, but who knows, like after a few days of the market, because you know how it goes.
Yeah, you're totally right. We're in a bearish market. Everything trends down. Buying power is going down.
Mm-hmm.
around the world. So people are not going to have the money, the free cash flow to go and invest in these digital collectibles. But I'm still going for it, just because I want to give myself a shot and maybe a low mint. I recognize I'll probably lose money. I'll probably lose 30, 40 gems, and I'm willingly doing so. We had one commenter on yesterday's video, or actually the video where about should you go for drops, mention that, you know, people do lottery tickets all the time and they're probably going to lose. It's kind of the same idea, and they spend way more than 40 gems or 40 USD in this case.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
So,
why this is so addicting, right? It's pretty much gambling, and gambling's an addiction for sure. So
yeah, you have degenerate gamblers, and you have everyone's financial hope and dreams.
yeah.
So that makes sense. So there's one thing I want to talk about, the meat and potatoes of today. And I've been thinking about this for a while because the idea sparked. I got the first idea on vacation when I was in Italy, and I was at different landmarks, and I had different, you know, reasons to take photos. Like I was at the Tower of Pisa, for example, and I'm like, what collectible can I use to kind of just like hold it, you know, hold the Tower of Pisa in place? And I thought about it, and I'm like, the only real utility that exists right now on Veve is taking photos. So it actually would be beneficial right now to expand on the only utility that we have and do the opposite of the feedback that David Yu has got, which is that there should only be one collectible or two collectible poses for each collectible. I'm thinking that maybe you should actually do a lot. You should do more than 5. And you should give people the most opportunity for every collectible as possible in different poses and different angles so they could take the most amount of photos. You would obviously have to adjust mint numbers to be respectable to that, because if you go high, it's going to just deflate the value of all of them. But I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever really talked about this. I just want to bounce that idea off you. Do you think that's a good idea? Should Veve give more poses to all the collectibles?
I think that I totally see where you're coming from. I'm what did you call it? A vault junkie or whatever. I love to like just hang out in my vault and like take pictures and mess around with all my collectibles. So I definitely understand like when you're trying to do something and it's like, if only her arm was like this, like why is her arm not just like this, you know? So I definitely feel you. I think that it would be really cool since that is the utility that we have. But instead of like saturating the market with like multiple collectibles, maybe they just start making them to where like update it to where you could just move them into a different position instead. So instead of having like the 3 Buzz Lightyears that we just had dropped and they're just all in 3 different poses, like you could have just made him into one pose, but then you could have had him in different like outfits instead for the drop.
Yeah,
Or something.
I actually think that's a superstar idea, because I love that idea. I've actually never thought of that before, where maybe you find a compromise where you do one collectible that has the options to do different poses instead of doing the 5. That would be, I think, pretty incredible, because then it brings, you know, you have the scarcity and you have the utility, and you expand the utility. They always talk about how hard it is to do things like that. But man, that would be sick if you can take a collectible like Darth Vader. You know, he's standing like this with his lightsaber, but then you just move him to stand like this, and then you can choose option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's animated, and on top of that, you can get all the different options. And on top of that, you're only going for one, so you do 10,000 of that one, and it could pump value. Great idea. We got to send this to Veve somehow. Next time we get Reese on the channel, I got to tell him that.
Well, we can definitely tell him, but I don't know like how possible it is. Like I'm not tech like savvy at all, so I don't know, you know, if like you would have to bring in like gamifying or any of that, you know. So I know, but we have endless possibilities, you know, technology is always growing, so maybe in the very, very future, but
yeah, I mean, I don't see why it won't be possible. Like they already have the lightsabers where you click it and it comes out, right?
Yeah.
So, and we also have the drivable collectibles. So you
oh
have
yeah, you're right.
Right? It's a little pad that you can go right, you can go left, you can do whatever. So why not have like a little pad, A, B, C, D? It could be like a little PlayStation controller, you know, X, whatever. You hit it and it does that pose. Because this is the only utility, right?
For sure.
It's the
only
it's the only utility they have. So let's because we're so early in Veve, why don't we build on that early utility? And I mean, it doesn't have to stop at collectibles. Maybe you can add utility to art and do the same thing and say, you know, you buy, let's say, you know, a collectible that has 5 different options. I think that could work.
Yeah, definitely. That would be super cool.
Yeah.
I think
So
like I had like the idea, but then like you had all the ideas on how to actually like implement it. So we're a good team. That was good teamwork.
that's part of brainstorming, right? Because I've never thought of that idea, and I think that they can implement it. Now, how would you do the mint numbers though? Like, let's say let's pick an example here. We had the, you know, Vader. Let's just say 10,000, whatever it is, 13,000, whatever it is. How would you assign the mint numbers now if you're going to get rid of the uncommon and the secret rare? Or the ultra rare? Do you then just sum them all up and do a 30,000 drop, or do you still do the 10,000? What do you think would be better?
I don't know. Like I said, maybe they still do like 3, like they could have done 3 buzzes, just like him in 3 different outfits, like him as just Buzz himself, and then him as in like in his stormtrooper suit. And then I don't know. I don't know. I guess it would just depend on if they could have multiple things, but if not, then yeah, just keep it like 10,000. This is gonna be scarce, and maybe it'll help out this dry market right now too, you know?
We did an interview with Ron English, who talked about what's called the jukebox. So he was saying that, right? You
I
know,
can't wait.
you know where I'm going with this, right?
Mhm.
The jukebox. So he was saying how like Veve is gonna come out with, you buy the jukebox and then you can like plug in songs. So it's kind of the same idea, right? Where you're picking the songs that go with the collectibles. It doesn't have to stop at poses, right? You can almost do it where you have one collectible, you have 10, whatever, 5, 6, 7 different poses, and then on top of that, you could just add music. It almost would be easier to add to the collectible because you're starting with one skeleton,
Yeah.
and it's not like I know how this stuff works, but from what I've heard, it's almost like it's easier to just constantly modify that one collectible. You add music to it, or you add the animation to it. Maybe you add the game. I know they said that that's not going to be a thing anytime soon.
Yeah.
So you right after. So you know about you saw that interview with Ron English with the
Yeah, I
jukebox?
did. I can't. That's so cool. I can't wait for the jukebox. I don't know when that's coming, but hopefully soon. Sooner than soon.
Well, in the terms of services, it talks about music. It also talks about movies and clips. So there, we know like it's still so early, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm going back. Like they're gonna come up with all sorts of things that a lot of people haven't even realized yet. Another thing is the virtual goods, by the way, which is where you can buy accessories for your collectibles that you can append to them. I don't know how that's going to work, but it's the same. It's literally the same idea. You're choosing something for each collectible. You're
Yeah.
changing it off a choice. So it's kind of the same thing as for an animation. Right? You're changing the animation, the arm, whatever.
Yeah.
It almost becomes like a little puppet. We got Pinocchio now in the flesh, right?
Right.
Everyone's, where's Pinocchio at now? This would be perfect Pinocchio.
What if Vivi came and said, you know, like for the ones that we have now, if they did implement like the multiple poses thing for like the FA Wonder Woman, for example, what if like, oh no, because there's only one of her, so I guess that wouldn't matter.
But
Who's
you're
there
right.
multiple of?
Why? But why stop there? You can now create options for ones that never had the change. I don't think they're going to do it because
Yeah.
they said that what you're getting is kind of the best we have to offer. So it's something that maybe you have to change going forward. But I don't know. It's just an idea. I'm curious to know if Vivi even thought of it. So
Right.
that's something that I think could be game changer in terms of making the community happy. Because I mean,
Yeah.
people love to complain. How many times has someone complained to you about all the different poses? But
All
really, it's
the time.
all the time.
I complained about the poses.
Me too. I did too, until I had an opportunity to actually go out into the wild and want to use it and actually use Veve for what it's actually useful for right now. The one thing that you can do for it.
Right.
So, anyways, that's my thoughts. Do you have anything else to add? Anything else you want to talk about?
I wanna know how your honeymoon was.
Hmm.
Congratulations. Like that's so cool
Yeah, thanks.
on
I
your
mean,
marriage.
it was a busy honeymoon, a lot of fun. You know, we started in Rome, we went down to Amalfi, we went up to Florence, did Siena, we did a bunch of stuff there. We went to Cinque Terre, up to Milan during Fashion Week. It was
Oh, that's
their
cute.
fashion week. I watched a soccer game with Italy versus England,
Dang,
uh,
that's super cool.
and then finished in Venice. Incredible trip. If you guys haven't been,
Wow.
I don't know. Have you been to Italy before?
I've never been out of the United States, so no.
Okay, and that's all right. I mean, I've been to the U.S. This is my first time ever in Europe. All my trips have mainly been to the U.S. or to the Caribbean. So it's you go places like that, you see people from all over the world, and it's it's like the VV community, right? Like I just watched that AMA, and it was they're talking about like Germany, and they were talking about European countries. And I know Reese has been doing that a lot. I think he did one with the Netherlands as well.
Mhm.
It's just different cultures, different people, different mindsets. Their questions, they came up with different questions than, let's say, Joe and I would come up with, because they have a different perspective.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. If you ever do have the opportunity to go, obviously it's 100% worth it. But that's
Yeah.
how it is. Eventually the vacation has to end. But in my case, with my wife, every day's a honeymoon, right?
Aw, I love
That's
that. That's so cute.
it's on video. I gotta show her this after. It's on video. There we go. It's recorded.
Oh, that's cute.
So
Yeah, and that's cool that you guys had like such an eventful time too. It sounds like you guys did so much too, have lots of memories to look back on. That's really cool.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Anything else you want to shout out?
Shoot, what do I want to shout out?
That's okay.
I have an interview tomorrow, or no, Saturday with Dino, but I'll post that. I'll tweet that out later. So
make sure you check it out if you haven't already. Sub to KCollections, Superstar KCollections. 225 subs. We'll see. Can we get her to 300? I think we can do it. Make sure you hit the bell button as well, because we know that she will have that video coming out soon. Always doing lives, always doing interviews. Follow her on Twitter. And don't forget as well, y'all gotta subscribe to Superstar Money. Smash the subscribe button. I have to say before I end this off, thank you so much for coming on the channel. We appreciate you spending the time to join us. Thank you for filling in for Joe. You did a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
thank you, and you have a great rest of your night. Thanks for having me on here.
No problem. Anytime. Maybe we'll do this again. And for everyone else, again, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell button. Also, Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month will bring as much utility as possible to our VIP membership. We want to bring, we got our spreadsheets there, and we're trying to come up with more. We got first dibs on giveaways. We got first dibs on our buys and sells. We just try to do whatever we can to bring value. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.
Bye.